Riding a motorcycle can be hard. So today we brought in a real moto expert to break down all the things you should
and shouldn't
do while riding. First clip. This is...
Oh no! Oh, and he's not even wearing full gear.
That's why we dress for the slide, not the ride.
I am Carolyn from Doodle on a Motorcycle, and I like big bikes and I cannot lie. And I try to get as good at them as possible, so training with motor officers, BMW GS trophy riders, racing coaches.
Carolyn has taken every motorcycle course known to all mankind. She is an official badass.
Balancing the wheelie, like you need some rear brake, and then right after, it looks like he did a stoppie right before flipping over and kind of scorpion. That is just grabbing a handful of front brake. That looks like a panic move, unless
For sure. I think the front brake is definitely like the panic.
Yeah,
like, I've crashed before, and that was my mistake. You freak out and you grab every bit of the brakes. Front brake just happens to be where your hands are and you clench up, and but that's why you wear gear, though. You know, stuff happens and you want to get crazy.
Look at you, so responsible rider. I'm so proud of you. I wasn't sure. I was like, ooh, backwards hat. Does she wear
She's got the backwards hat.
We may have a hooligan.
But that morning that I crashed, I grabbed every bit of front brake and I Supermaned into the back of this Trailblazer.
Oh.
Had I worn my half helmet, I for sure would have needed like facial reconstructive surgery. Everything was fine. I hobbled away just fine. But what are accidents? It's unplanned events. You don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna get T-boned in an intersection today. You know what? Today I think I'm gonna spray myself in the eye with brake clean. That sounds like a good idea. It's stuff that happens. So you wear the gear to protect yourself when XYZ happens, and it looks like XYZ happened right here.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a lot of pain after this, I can guarantee that.
I bet he's gonna wear some gear after that.
I hope so.
I have to imagine.
Follow up. 3 years later, how is this man doing?
Yeah, let's see those arms.
Let's see the next clip.
But if you're going at higher speeds, you can see there's a wreck ahead, and you cannot avoid it. This may sound crazy, but you want to dump your bike. Then as it skids, you jump on top of the bike and ride it like a surfboard. That's why motorcycles don't have seat belts.
There is a reason he did not demo this, because he's lying to all of us. He's lying to you. Don't listen to him.
When I got into a wreck, I was not an experienced enough rider to have maneuvered out, because that's really what you should do, right? If you can try to swerve out of the way, but you can really see, like CHP riders or any of the cop riders, you can see they're taking the big bikes and they are, like, they're so close to the ground with like how far they're weaving and swerving.
There's 2 courses I've taken, one with motor officers and another with champ school, so professional racers. And what they do towards the end is they will test your skills with panic. With the motor officers, what they'll do is they'll have you practice either swerving or braking, and you have to basically practice this maneuver around the cones. And then they make you panic by either literally jumping out in front of you and screaming at you,
my God.
or throwing a broom at you, or just, it's different every time. So to see, what do? Like, do you freeze up? Do you panic? Do you grab and a lot of mistakes happens there, but by practicing that, it's like you get used to thinking, what's the drill that I need to do while my heart is racing? I remember the first few times I did that, I did panic and I didn't do the right thing. Then I started getting used to it, and then all of a sudden, the swerve or the emergency brake we were practicing came out in the panic instead.
That's gonna be so cool when that happens.
It was so fun.
And I tell anybody who will listen, take the motorcycle safety course, which a lot of people will start riding without that, which is so crazy to me. Yeah, but it also, I mean, it lowers insurance costs, and if you're young, it's cheaper too. I think if you're under 21, they still cost less.
Nice.
It used to anyways.
Nice.
Are there any newbie courses besides that one that you would recommend?
Slow speeds training, I'd say like Lock and Lean is one of them. Ride Like a Pro is another. Both of those are with motor officers. And then some states will have, police departments will teach civilian slow speed skills as well. Any motor officer, any police officers, when it comes to like slow speed skills, just amazing. And then when it comes to like the more high speed stuff, like say you want to ride up in the mountains, that I recommend track days. Champ School's a big one with professional racers, but it's a big dollar one. So really just any track days will be better than nothing when it comes to learning high speed.
Oh man, I want to take all of those.
Yes. Yes. Turn another one. Oh no, he's got no shirt on. No helmet, no gloves.
You flexing.
Oh no, where did he go? Oh no, he ran into the garage. It was so slow, but he did so much damage.
What happened?
Yeah, how
In
does
the
that?
comments,
What happened?
basically he just said he panicked. It was his daughter.
Panic.
Yep. And so he had two choices here. He had clutch and he had brakes, and he chose neither.
When I took the motorcycle safety course, I was like, God, please don't drop the bike. Please don't drop the bike. And I was so concerned about getting out of gear and pressing in the clutch, I forgot to put my foot down.
Oh no.
I was like,
It happens. Hey, it happens.
Yeah, you know, it happens to the best of us. Okay, so I notice that our buddy here in the video is completely shirtless, no gloves, or a helmet. I've heard this phrase, ATGAT. What does that mean?
ATGAT is my life motto. It means all the gear, all the time. Basically, just wear everything from head to toe, all your gear. Because have you heard of Brittany Morrow?
No.
She's a rider that went down, and I think she was going around maybe 25 miles an hour or so. Not super fast, but she was in a bikini. And
no.
went down. The term road rash does not do this injury justice.
I'm getting chills just thinking about
It's rough. Still got all these scars many years later.
my God.
Wear your gear all the
Yeah.
time. And you'd think like, okay, bikini, sure, maybe she was wearing jeans. No. Even just like store-bought jeans, like
Right, like Hollister jeans or something, not gonna do it.
They will
right?
shred, like in seconds, they'll shred.
So much of them is not even like real denim.
At the end of the day, it's still cotton, so
That's
it
true.
can still shred so easily. So yeah, you want riding jeans specifically, like Kevlar line jeans are great. You go out full leather. I don't usually do full leather unless I'm on the track, but there's textiles that are made to be abrasion resistant. And then some of them have like mesh in certain areas, so you can wear all this gear and still be like ventilated.
Like I've got a flannel that it allows that ventilation, but it's like Kevlar lined or has a Kevlar mesh on the elbows and stuff like that.
Nice.
Like impact-wise, it's probably gonna hurt, but at least I'm not gonna get shredded to pieces.
I just get peeled away like a banana on the street.
Dress for the slide, not the ride.
Please, please.
So this next person says that they have a helmet hack for the rain. Some good auto wax. Okay. Okay, so
I
yeah, I
never
mean, he's
waxing.
kind of like rain-exing.
Really?
That kind of makes sense, right? Like if you wax your paint, then water tends to beat off of it a little easier.
I mean, it looks pretty clean, like right after you wiped it off.
The water just kind of beads right off. He's blowing the water off.
Personally, whenever I've been riding in the rain, I'm usually on the highway, so it just kind of blows away, and you could turn your head a little bit, and that helps even like shove it away.
Right.
I don't know that that's gonna do much for fogging.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think even if you tried to wax the inside, it's likely still gonna fog.
Yeah.
So what do you do to combat fog?
All my visors have a pin lock, so here's one where it's basically like another layer inside your helmet, and this isn't like 100%, but it definitely helps a lot more than just like a one layer visor. Having pin lock helps, but normally all I do is just kind of crack it, let some wind in, keep my vents open, and yeah, I get a little bit splattered on my face, but not bad. I have heard of people putting toothpaste inside, like scuba divers will do that too.
Oh.
I think I've tried that though, and I don't think I've had success.
No,
success with it.
not good. I remember back in the day when I was like a kid swimming, they would say to keep your goggles from fogging that you would like spit and like rub it
that
in.
too.
I wonder.
Yes, scuba divers do that one too.
That would be a lot of spit though, so I don't know if I would want to do that.
You gotta really hawk it up.
Right.
Prepare for this one.
Well, we gotta find some good anti-fog stuff. There's gotta be something out there. Somebody in the comments, share what you got.
One that actually works. Don't mess with us. We'll test it.
Don't play with us.
Oh, that's a nice.
Well,
oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh, you poor little baby.
If you want to dabble, you need the little cages. You need something like an impact tech.
Oh yeah, definitely. It looks like his bike started turning and then maybe panicked and overcorrected and then turned it to the right and then ATGAT.
Some of these dudes will have like their girlfriend in a bikini while they're stunting. I'm like, all right, man. Liz, it's one thing to put yourself in danger, but like that's crazy.
And if she's not a rider, she might not know about.
That's
like,
not fair.
road
That's
rash
not
and-
fair. She didn't know. She trusted you.
She didn't know. With all these viral clips, I'm like, okay, but where's the follow-up? Why don't you show the aftermath that's just at the very end? Just show us your road rash because I know it's there.
I mean, you're gonna post that anyways. Just show us what happened.
Just give it to us. Just show it.
Because that's valuable. The people watching you be like, oh, shit, I better wear my gear. Let's check out that next clip. Okay.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, see, I want to practice that.
Look at that. And he's his body positioning, that's the body positioning that you do at high speed. So like over 25 miles an hour, like
Yes,
you're on
that's
the
a good
track.
point.
If you're going like under like 20 miles an hour or so, just practicing slow speeds, like you want to be on the outside of the bike.
I seen like the videos of the cop training courses, like Road Like a Pro, like you were saying, and they're kind of throwing themselves on the opposite side when they're going that slow, right?
For me, what Ben from Lock and Lean had me do, that's a motor officer. Because my bike is so big, it's a 900-pound Harley Electric Glide. I'm not a very tall woman, I'm like 5'3.75 inches tall.
I like I think that puts
That's important. That's important. For some people, countersteering is good for slow speed, but for me, he had me just sit up very high on the seat and then lean forward. So kind of mimics the counterweighting for like that maybe a taller person might do.
Oh, really?
This is never the body position you want to do at slow speeds.
You're just thinking.
Yeah. Best way to quickly improve your turning skills as a new rider is to just practice and do it a lot.
We hear things like practice makes perfect all the time, but if you're not practicing that the right way,
Practice the right thing, though.
And a class would allow you that feedback because somebody's watching you and saying, you're not really doing that right, you should do it more like this. It's hard to probably ride a bike in a mirror.
So when I started practicing more on my own, I would just film myself, and then I would actually send it to one of my instructors. I'd just email him and be like, how is this looking? And then he'd give me some tweaks, and I'd practice again. That's another way you can do it, too.
I need to do that. I need to practice my low speed turning.
It's so fun. It's addicting. Oh, no! Did he get hit by the next?
He did get hit, but they were already almost stopping.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God, he's so lucky.
I'd say rider error in there.
Target fixation. He's looking where he doesn't want to go.
Exactly.
I actually watched somebody crash right in front of me. I was on a ride. She was on a brand new Triumph. We were going around the bend of part of the mountain, and she plowed, luckily, right into the soft part in the mountain. But it's like, you'd look at that from the outside and you'd say, how did you hit the inside? You're gonna go where you look.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at where you don't want to go, you're gonna go into that. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes to not look at anything in between but where you want to go, and your body just does what it needs to do.
Like, look at the road, not the truck right outside of it. I see a little hooligan in this one. He's putting his knee down on the street. And I asked a Motor America racer, Michael Haynow, about that. I was like, because I was showing him that clip from Tom Cruise riding in Mission Impossible, the mountain chase scene. And he's like putting his knee down. Also, don't even get me started on the jeans. But anyways, and I was asking, I was like, is that really necessary? Like, does that really improve does that really tighten your, and he was like, no. Putting your knee down is more like a fine-tuning, adjusting. Save it for the race or
For the track.
Got another death trap in here.
Oh.
Steel line, both the bolts on the exhaust are broken off.
This is literally how my neighbor, who's 13, is
That's what it looks like, a 13-year-old bike.
Sir, this is not rideable. That is something that they teach in the MSF course too, is T-clocks. Do you remember T-clocks from the MSF course?
No.
That's all these things that you need to check on your bike to just...
Make sure it's safe.
Right, it's your pre-ride inspection. Like, ideally you do it every time you go on a ride. I'm a little spoiled too, like my Triumph, it's newer, so it has a lot of gauges for me. So it tells me like my oil's okay, it tells me my tire pressure gauge.
Get some TPMS on that bad boy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm so surprised that it kind of took so long for TPMS to make it to motorcycles. You get a flat on a car, that's one thing. That's inconvenient. You get a flat on a motorcycle, like that is terrifying.
You only got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Motorcycle tires, their pressure will change so much with the temperature.
Right.
I don't know if maybe more than cars, but I mean, you can
Well,
like,
the
feel
temperature
it
fluctuation is probably more than cars, so you get more pressure fluctuation, I'm sure.
And you could feel it on your bike. Like, I don't feel it in my car if my pressure is low, but on my bike, it's like noticeable. The one thing I do is I'll clean and lube my chain, and I might top it off with oil. That one's an easy check. Tire pressure, of course. Everything else, I'll take it to get serviced to make sure people who are smarter than me look at my bike.
But I feel like bike dealerships are a little different than car dealerships.
Maybe it's just like the motorcycle community.
Maybe
We're like a
that's it.
family versus cars. It's like some people have it because they love it. Some people have it because
They got to.
We need a car.
That's such a good point. Community.
I think I can be the queen of stalling.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Oh no.
We've all been there.
This happens
I still do
when you
this every
forgot
now and then.
about the clutch.
Oh no. So what might have happened is she just let go of the throttle and didn't have enough clutch in. So it's just kind of a balance of that clutch and throttle, which can happen a lot when you're stopping and taking off, because that's where that balance really, like, you need to like finesse it, like a little more clutch, a little more throttle. She could be tiptoeing on a bike, so you're just like, it's just harder to balance that way. One of my bikes is just really tall for me and my other one is just really wide. So I just mostly do 1 foot down.
I was just gonna say, so
yeah.
you kind of hang off the side?
Yeah, and
I see.
a lot of times maybe you can have your right foot up on the rear brake, but if you don't, don't want to do that, like maybe you're on a hill or something, sometimes it's just easier to have one foot flat on one side and the other one's just on the tiptoe. And then instead of tiptoeing on both, then it's like, that's when I've lost balance before too.
Right,
like
you know, that's such a good point, because when you're tiptoeing, I mean, you got no surface area on either side.
just a little teeter-totter.
One time I saw this like really short king on a Hayabusa. And you know, Hayabusa's a really big bike. And he was just full, like, all the way on the side. But he was handling it, you know, like he had it. But I was just like, damn, that is extreme. That's a big bike for a small man. I feel like when I first started riding, like, you know, I don't know, 20 years ago, I didn't know any other girls who rode. And so I was ultra paranoid about looking dumb or silly on a bike, maybe
I know that feeling.
because of the internal projection of like everybody thinks I'm already silly for being a girl on a bike. And so it's like then when you do something like that, like you stall or you drop the bike, you're just like, oh, everybody thinks I'm so dumb.
It's because I'm a girl.
It's because I'm a girl. Dudes do it too. I think just
we all do it.
not beating ourselves up about it and not freaking out. It happens. And the only way it will really happen less is by listening to people who have more experience, but just getting that chair time in, right? Like, you know, get some more miles on that bike and that will happen less.
And as much as I like feel comfortable like with my friction zone, that like clutch and throttle balance, like I still stall every now and then.
And that's somebody like you. Like you're such a good pro rider that like, you know. So it's good for people to hear that even a rider such as yourself makes these mistakes periodically. It just goes to show you, like that's just being human. All right, in this next clip, the original poster says that his brother recorded this and doesn't think he's in the wrong. Let's see for ourselves.
Wait, what?
Wow. Bikes can't stop as fast as cars. People don't understand we only have 2 wheels. You have that much less stopping power. You do have less weight and less inertia than a car, but you've got way less stopping power, so you've got to keep that distance. Granted, I will say if they grabbed every bit of front brake, maybe they would have rear-ended this car. He doesn't nosedive at all, so it looks like maybe he only grabbed the rear brake, which is also not good. They are waiting for a left turn, so maneuvering around on the left side seems like a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah,
that's scary.
He got lucky because I mean it looks like as soon as this clip started, the brake lights were on. And if he had been more on the left side, he might be able to see that there was oncoming traffic. And if he was keeping like that 2-second following distance recommended in MSF, then he might have had time to stop. Actually, so the most common type of motorcycle accidents happen in intersections. And it looks like the car in front of this red car that's stopped was gonna make a left. So it could have been a really bad day for him. He got lucky. He didn't get hit by oncoming traffic or going over this double yellow. He did not get hit by that truck turning left, but it could have been bad.
When I took the MSF course, they were saying don't use only your front brake because you're gonna get too much nosedive, so have an equal balance between your front and your rear. But I think when you're a new rider, your natural instinct is to just hit whatever's on your foot because we have a foot brake for your car. So I always had this habit of always grabbing too much rear brake. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's me. You just have the rear lock up all the time. And I, in fact, actually got really good at just scrolling around the rear because of that.
Nice, so you no longer panic.
You know, that so
you
that it
used
did
to
work out exactly
Nice.
the way that they said. I want to check out that next clip.
So I'm gonna drop my bike on purpose and figure out how to pick it back up.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
I haven't even done real.
This is the only way I know how to do it is that.
Yeah.
But just gotta be so hard because she is on grass and cardboard, like the wheels aren't gonna bite into the concrete like you normally would. There's a good lesson to be learned here is do your squats.
I squat my bike as like part of my workout routine.
That sounds like the most logical thing to do.
Yeah, I squat it every week, 3 sets of 10. None of my bikes I could pick up when I first got them. I had to learn the proper technique for it. I started drinking protein and working out. I'm like,
I love it.
you know what? I've been wanting to be stronger for years, and now I finally have a reason to do it.
Hell yeah.
No, I do. My bike. Exactly. How much you lift, bro? 500-pound
Can you
bike.
lift this bike? What's your technique when a bike is dropped to go and pick it up?
So I do what looked like she was attempting at first, which is kind of squatting it behind you. There is a way to do it from the front, but that hasn't worked for me. So that's how I do it. I do it from like in
Use
front
the
and
leg
like kind of
strength.
squat. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like hack squat.
That
it
makes
up from the
sense. That's
back.
what I've done in the past too.
Like, so both my bikes have drop protection, which kind of lift it up from the ground a little bit. On the Harley, it lifts it up on the ground a lot. It only falls
Yeah.
like a 45-degree angle. even though it's 900 pounds, it's easier to lift than my Triumph, which is like a little over 500 pounds. Those engine guards like maybe lift it up the ground a couple inches. I feel like the first couple inches lifting a bike is the hardest.
Right,
So if like you've got that little tweak, sometimes that's all it takes. There is a stunt rider way too of like riding off. I've never tried that.
You know, I think I've seen that before, but I've never been bold enough to try.
Yeah, we'll teach you the adventure bike Harley way today. So you want to try it out?
Yeah, let's check it out. All right, so we're out here in the donut garage and we stole our creative director Max's Kawasaki KZ750. Shh, don't tell him. Carolyn here is gonna show me how to properly pick it up.
So when a bike is light and lying totally flat, sometimes it can be kind of hard, sometimes even harder than like the bigger bikes with engine guards. So what we want to do is we want to rock it up to get those tires down on the ground first. I'm going to have you do like a hack squat. So you're going to be like leaning here and your butt's going to be up against the seat.
Okay.
And you're going to hold the handlebar.
Okay.
And hold some hard part that you can reach here while still keeping your back straight. You want to make sure the bike's in gear so it doesn't roll on us.
So we're being like a deadlift.
So you're gonna crouch down.
Crouch down.
Your butt's gonna be low, right up against the seat.
Okay,
Grab
we got
the
our handle. We got our bar back here.
First like 6 inches, you're not really lifting. We're just gonna rock it so the tires are down. And then once you do that, then you're gonna make sure your back is straight and you're just going to like kind of push and walk back and you can shimmy your legs as you're going.
Okay.
Yeah, keep your back straight,
try
back
this.
straight. You can exhale as you do it too, yeah. Okay, good, you're rocking it. Keep looking up, walking back, shimmy those legs. Shimmy those legs, good.
Yay.
Beautiful!
We did it.
Way to go.
All right, Caroline, do you have any other tips for new riders that you think would be helpful for them to know?
Yes, there are a couple I can think of that aren't necessarily taught in courses. First one, if you're parking on grass or gravel or dirt or on really hot asphalt, your kickstand, since it's just at such a tiny point and your bike can be so heavy, like wearing stilettos on grass.
Oh, you guys out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So you can get a kickstand puck. You can buy a cheap one off Amazon, or if you're in a pinch, you can just use a crushed soda can. I've looked for like pieces of wood, just debris, to put under the kickstand to keep it from sinking. And then there's another one I do if you need to finagle your bike around like a really tight spot. If your bike is low and you're very tall and you can flat foot your bike. Some people, if you've ever heard of duck walking, they'll just literally walk their bike around.
Right.
But I can't do that on my bikes because I'm tiptoe on on both of them.
I feel like even sometimes like your feet will want to slip out if you're on a slippery surface.
So I can show you my trick for that.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, can you show me?
So first you want to make sure your bike is in neutral. There is this huge debate of kickstand side or not. I just do the kickstand side because that way I have the kickstand right here.
Right, yeah.
So kickstand's up. I'm gonna keep my hand on the front brake. So especially if you're on a hill, you wanna be able to control that. Leaning against my hip, I'm not using upper body strength. Yeah, so I have like one foot a little closer, and it's all just leaning on my hip. I'll just move it around like this, right on my hip. I get out of my garage like this. You can go forward and you can turn on the bike too and just let the bike roll.
So Carolyn, thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It was so much fun. We definitely have to ride at some point in time.
I would love to.
I would love that.
My parting message for you is just believe in yourself. If there's something that you want, don't think that because it's difficult you can't do it. It just means that you just need a little obstacle course to get there.
Thank you, everybody.